Welcome, everyone, and welcome to Progressive Discussions. I'm your host, James P. McDonough. Another week has flown by. I say that every week, but that's how they are. The weeks, the months, the seasons fly by. And believe it or not, we are approaching the end of January 2024 already. You believe that? January, I remember when it was New Year's Day. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. So how's everyone doing? I just want to, I hope you had a good week, by the way. And I hope you're surviving the frigid Arctic blasts, ice age type weather. I love it. I take after my late mother. I love breathing cool or cold air. To me, it's very invigorating, energizing. It's much easier to breathe. It's much easier to sleep. I'm an autumn and winter enthusiast. I just want to say hello to the gentleman who's coming on the show later, Mr. Ronnie S., Clearwater, Florida. He's enjoying a balmy 50 degrees Fahrenheit during the day, I guess, or maybe at night. It says here, I'm looking forward to another hard-hitting show where the truth is revealed to the masses. The asses of the masses. They don't have to be brilliant. They don't have to be geniuses or have high IQs. All they need is common sense and logic, which is lacking. Sometimes, if it looks, well, actually very often in life, if it looks, walks, and it sounds like a duck, it's a duck. It's not rocket science. It's just common sense and logic. I remember New Year's Day like it was today. Yeah, you believe that? January's almost gone. That's why I'm saying, old Father Time moves quickly. Time and tide waits for no man, like Ed Norton said on The Honeymooners. Cold weather isn't good for you. Well, within reason, yeah. You can always dress appropriately for cold weather. But when it's hazy, hot, and humid during a steam bath heat wave like we have on the East Coast or like you have on the Gulf Coast, even if you get naked, it doesn't matter. You will still feel very uncomfortable without air conditioning. But when it's cold, you can always put a scarf on, a good jacket, maybe wear some layers, get like a fleece sweater underneath the jacket. You can do things. Put on some pair of thermal socks. Put on a thermal insulated a schlong warmer, cock warmer, for those out there that have something special to keep warm. Okay, did you hear that Hulk Hogan saved a young lady who was stuck in an overturned car? No, I didn't. And is this a true story, or is this one of Hogan's tales? One of his tall tales? Oh, I had my water in the freezer, and the top froze over. Let me see if it's... No. Didn't take long. Oh, the top is... Just the top is frozen. Well, if that really happened, you know what? God bless him. Good for him. But it's difficult when someone is known as a big-time bullshit artist. It's like the boy who cried wolf. Anyway, we are streaming on YouTube and X, aka Twitter, aka X. Yeah, because his business, and doesn't he reside in Clearwater also? I know his you told me his his restaurant bar or bar restaurant is in Clearwater, I think. Anyway, before I get to the topics, and I don't have that many topics because I've been getting bombarded with a lot of nonsense. A lot of sports, New York Yankees, what they're doing in the off season, so on and so forth. And I haven't been able to really get many important topics. I don't want to play something that doesn't even deserve to be played. Like one of Marjorie Taylor Greene's asinine comments, or Laura Boebert's asinine comments. It's not worth playing that on the show. It's a waste of time. You can't give certain people attention. You can't shine the spotlight on certain people. You have to ignore them. Yeah, before I get to the topics, I'm going to induct a company into the Chiselers Hall of Shame. All right. Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is doing fine and dandy. He's going to be 100% come spring training. And the Martian, Jason Dominguez, there's a really good chance he's going to be completely healed for opening day. But they're not rushing him. They want him to take his time. And everybody's good to go. Juan Soto, they're all good to go. The other young superstar of the future, I think, Aaron Wells, catcher Aaron Wells, is doing really good. See, I respect what he did. Aaron Wells, I have to say Aaron because I made a mistake and called him Orson Welles. But he's been in Tampa training during the off season. He's not like just lying around, relaxing and resting for the off season, for the winter. He's been training. He's serious about his success, and I admire him for that. And also, Spencer Jones, and one of the Yankees' super top young prospects, also 6'6" Spencer Jones, who will be starting AAA this year. Developmental. He hired Aaron Judge's special private hitting instructor. Aaron Judge doesn't rely on the coaches that the Yankees hire. He has a special privately hired hitting coach or hitting instructor that's supposed to be a real dynamo. And that's the person who has been training Aaron Judge even back when he was in a farm league. Before he even became who he's known to be today. And this guy is what made him. And another great thing, the Yankees hired a hitting coach that used to work for the Washington Nationals when Juan Soto was with the Washington Nationals, and he's the guy who helped Juan Soto become who he is. And now he's working for the Yankees, reunited. Things are really coming together for a team that was in the basement. Not as deep in the basement as the Boston Red Sox, but that's another talk show. No more. I think Hal Steinbrenner really lost his patience with Brian Cashman, because I notice there's no more players being signed to long contracts. It's foolish. It's so foolish. Because if they turn out to be non-productive, or a disaster, and the Yankees try to trade them and get rid of them, they have to eat that money. If they're under contract, so that no more old farts, no more old geezers, or the so-called baseball veterans. No more veterans, especially ones signed to long contracts. That's out. Because then you're screwed. Like, they're screwed with the one hit. What's his name? Well, he's not a one-hit wonder, but he hasn't been productive. Giancarlo Stanton. But they're really looking at players not only from the Dominican Republic, but from Cuba too. The Yankees are really doing a great job looking to rebuild the team. They really are. I got to give them credit for that. Robinson Cano is playing in the Dominican World Series tonight. Oh, the Dominican Republic made it to the International World Series? Is Japan or South Korea in it? Japan always wins. Or is it just the Dominican Republic World Series, not the international competition? Oh, I understand. The Dominican World Series. Now, the guy that used to be on the Yankees, Abreu, I think he was Venezuelan. That's not the same Abreu that's on the Houston Astros, right? I think there might be two different Abreus. Anyway, Chiseler's Hall of Shame inductee. Johnson and Johnson. Everybody knows Johnson and Johnson. They know them for since people were children. It's an old company, and that people also know them for the massive lawsuits that they lost selling talcum powder, which causes ovarian cancer in women, and all the women who got ovarian cancer from Johnson and Johnson's talcum powder. Talcum powder is not a general word that describes baby powder. Baby powder is the general word. Baby powder is baby powder. It doesn't mean it's made from talc. Talc is a substance. It's a natural substance that turned out to be toxic and carcinogenic. And I know someone whose wife fought and survived ovarian cancer because she used talc. Now baby powder is made from cornstarch and fragrance. Perfectly safe. Anyway, the reason why I'm inducting them from a personal standpoint into the Chiseler's Hall of Shame, I'll be right with you, gentlemen. The reason why I'm inducting Johnson & Johnson is because I ordered a package of waxed dental floss. Okay, I like wax for certain reasons. I think it's a better dental floss. Wax on, wax off. Okay. When I received this Johnson & Johnson wax dental floss, I didn't see any wax. I didn't feel any wax. Like years ago, wax dental floss was wax dental floss. It was thick, very strong, and it had the wax on it. What did I get? I got Johnson & Johnson. It was thinner than sewing thread. Literally, it was thinner than thread. It was thinner than a fishing monofilament line. It was very uncomfortable. I mean, it cut my gums. No wax. It was crap. So I returned it to the Amazon return counter at Whole Foods. Thank God Whole Foods has a return counter for people that want to return items from Amazon. And I gave them a really bad review. I give reviews all the time, and they're honest reviews. And I was furious. I really expected dental floss to be better than the cheap no frills dental floss that I already had. Instead, this was just like it for more money because it was Johnson & Johnson. But it was thin garbage and it had no wax on it. So Johnson & Johnson, once again, you are inducted into the Chiseler's Hall of Shame. Now I will catch up here. Let's see. Bart Robinson. Good evening to you, sir. Our good friend Bart Robinson. I hope you're feeling well, and I hope you're back in full force at the gymnasium. Ronnie says, Bart, I'm sipping on a hot and sour soup tonight. Good choice, Ronnie. Tonight, trying to get rid of this persistent cough. Oh, you still have that? Yee. I know that bacterial respiratory infection is going around. What is it? RSV or Something like that. Don't forget, keep ginger tea in the house and lemons. Actually, I have a box of these packets from China, wherever the hell they're from, Thailand or Taiwan. It's instant ginger tea granules with honey in granule form, and I just add my own lemon and but always remember to boil the rind. The skin, the oil that's in the skin of lemon is more medicinal than the juice, a lot more medicinal. So don't throw away the rind, boil the rind. Okay. Monty says, all right, you already said that. Okay. Bart Robinson says, James, thanks for the birthday wishes the other day. Oh, that's quite all right. It was my pleasure. Um, you know, I like to do things nice. I do them right. I know a lot of people just say, "Hey, Bart, happy birthday." I like to do things more elaborately. Instead of a pat on the back. You know, just like a lot of people on social media are into small talk. To me, small talk is boring. I like to go deep. Like Ronnie Simpson, he's a deep man. He goes deep. He plows deep. Ronnie, Bart Robinson says, Ronnie, I was wondering how you've been feeling. That cough will stick around for a while, probably. Mine sure did. Yeah, respiratory infections are very stubborn. They're hard nuts to crack. They really are. That's why I'm saying the ginger and lemon and you know what my favorite cough syrup was? Buckley's from Canada. It's the strongest cough syrup money can buy. The slogan on the advertisement says, like, it tastes horrible, but it works. Something like that. It tastes horrible or it tastes awful, but it works. And it really does taste awful, but it really does work. It blasts you right open. Buckley's cough syrup from Canada. Mark my word. I was turned on to it by a Jamaican man back when I was working in a fish market, filleting fish. He turned me on to it. Oh yeah, Jordy was sick. I hope he stops by so I can ask him how he's doing. Hot and sour soup, good choice. Yeah, it is. It is a good choice. Hot and sour soup. Sour and hot. Next up is miso soup. Miso soup, as in the fermented soybean paste, or miso as in miso horny. Me rubber you wrong time. Remember that song? Was that Two Live Crew? Ronnie's too young to remember that. Bart Robinson says, I'm exhausted. I shoveled my driveway and sidewalk and then went to the gym. Skipped rope and rower machine. Wow, you are feeling better. I bet you had more snow than me because I live near the water and everything turns to rain. What's going on here with this? We got about 6 inches here in South Jersey yesterday, just like I said. Daryl Messiah's from Northern California. How are you, sir? Happy weekend to you. Bart Robinson says, I'm cheating now, eating some homemade birthday carrot cake. It's fucking awesome. Yeah, you got a dessert with beta carotene in there. How about that? In Woodin, New Jersey? Oh, that's Ronnie said the guy who founded your town was the high exalted grand mystic imperial wizard Poobah of the Masonic order, right? The Grand Poobah. That guy with the funny name. Woodstown. Wooden. 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 Yeah. That's where Charlie McCarthy, the dummy, that's his hometown. Wooden. The ventriloquist dummy. Ronnie says, I'm hanging in there, Daryl. I'm hanging in there. That's good, Daryl says. That's good. I know you had a high fever last week. All right. The Great Woodstown, New Jersey, the home of the Masonic Meeting Lodge Watering Hole. The watering hole. That's the bar in the lodge. The watering hole. The Loyal Order of Raccoons. So, yeah, he was the Grand Poobah, that guy. The man who founded Woodstown. Nobody has erectile dysfunction in Woodstown. They all got wood. Bart Robinson found that amusing. They all have wood. Bart Robinson, I've had that Buckley's. Am I right? Isn't it strong? Nothing compares to Buckley's. They even have one with a decongestant. Will Mick Von Raven be making an appearance tonight? No, he won't, because Mick Von Raven, when he watches football playoffs, he has to be glued. He has to have blinders on like a Clydesdale. I told him, you could be on the show and still watch the game in your man cave. All right. Whatever. Happy belated birthday, Bart. Jordy's here. Hey, James. Peace and love, sir. How you feeling, Jordy? Ronnie, thank you. Jordy. Okay, I gotta sink my teeth into these topics. I hope Jordy's feeling better. Cheers. Yeah, he's feeling better. If he's imbibing in fermented beverages, he's feeling better. Okay. Oh, look at this. We might as well. We don't have many topics, but we might as well throw this other one into the Chiselers Hall of Shame. Yikes. Well, this is not. People are not going to like this. Make sure it comes up. How do you feel? Hey, how do you feel, Jordy? You feel with your hands. Jordy says, I'm good, thank you. I knew you were good because you were saying cheers. All right. Back to the first topic. It's not just seafood. New study finds microplastics in nearly 90% of proteins sampled, including plant-based meat alternatives. Yeah. They also found it in bottled drinking water. Researchers at Ocean Conservancy and University of Toronto estimate that American adults could be consuming up to 3.8 million microplastics per year from protein alone. Well, that's not good. That makes you want to be a vegan. Portland, Oregon. I'm glad I put that water in the freezer for a little bit. A new study led by researchers at Ocean Conservancy and the University of Toronto and published today in the journal Environmental Pollution, found microplastics particles in 88% of protein food samples tested. The samples were drawn from 16 different protein types destined for U.S. consumers. Who else, right? Including seafood, pork, beef, chicken, tofu. Tofu? Oh, so I guess vegans are not off the hook. And 3 different plant-based meat alternatives. While scientists have long documented the presence of microplastics in the digestive tracts of commercial fish and shellfish like salmon, halibut, and oysters, there has been little research into whether these microplastics are entering the fillets of the fish, the parts that are actually eaten by people, and little research into terrestrial protein sources like beef, chicken, that make up a large part of the American diet. In this study, microplastics were found in all 16 protein types tested, suggesting that humans are likely eating microplastics no matter the source of the protein they choose. Furthermore, there was no statistical differences in microplastic concentrations between land and ocean source proteins. I don't know what happened to the article, but there was an article about the bottled spring water that was sold at Walmart. Okay, there's the there is the Chiseler's Hall of Shame inductee number 2, and I don't know what happened. I might have misplaced the article. This is a startling reminder of just how prolific plastic pollution has become. Humans live on land, and yet seafood samples are just as likely to be contaminated with plastics as are terrestrial-derived proteins. Gee, what happened to the U.S. Department of Agriculture and Food and Drug Administration? You know, I mean, let's see. All right, it's tempting to want to draw conclusions like eat less of this and more of that to avoid microplastics in your diet. But right now, we still know very little about the microplastics and burdens in commonly consumed foods. Now, let me do a little speed reading. Overlook the mumbo jumbo and redundancy. Okay, nearly half, 44% of identified microplastics were fibers. Yeah, but there's still microplastic is not fiber natural. It's not natural fiber from food. Natural fiber is like a indigestible cellulose, or it's a soluble fiber, like the kind found in oatmeal. Let me see. Well, okay, let me see if anything's being done. I don't see any government agency taking action aside from the investigation by the Ocean Conservancy. So, yeah, what else? What else is new? Every time we overcome a danger to humanity, a new one is waiting for us right around the corner. Let me see. Ooh, jeez. Okay, now before I go to this, this might be a video. Oh, okay. It's not good. All right, let me catch up here. Buckley's is good stuff. It sure is. Ronnie, I'm good, dude. Cheers. Hope you're doing good. Cheers. What does that mean? I eat I eat seafood a lot. That means we're all gonna be fucked up. That's what it means. It's talking shit. Don't worry about that shit. No, well, you got to deal with the realities of life, Jordan. No, 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 no. Wait till you hear this. Bollocks. Don't read that shit unless you want a fucking virus. Well, it's a the show is about serious topics. It's not about just hanging out. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Adios. That was quick. Yeah. Hey, good morning, Masumi from southeastern Japan. Good morning to you. Um, it is well, the clock on my. Oh, let me check. Sometimes the clock on the desktop is all screwed up. Yeah, don't believe. You know, my friend Jordy, I love him, but he wants to party all the time. Like what was that? Who sang that song? Prince, right? Uh, was that Prince? No, that wasn't Prince. That was Eddie Murphy, I think. I want to party all the time. Hey, who's blurring me? Zuckerberg? Sabotage. Party all the time. I want to party all the time. Party all. I hate to say it. Yeah, we lost him because he didn't like the topic. Party all the time. Yeah, we lost him. It was concerning. Wait till you hear this. You're very welcome, Masumi. Masumi is it's Sunday now in Japan, and it is 10:41 a.m. Sunday in southern Japan. So thank you for stopping by, Masumi. Party all the time. Yeah, no, I can't. You can't talk about anything serious because he gets nervous and he leaves right away. You know, if we talk about music or beer or food in general, or we can't. As soon as anything negative is mentioned, he gets nervous and he leaves. That's not good. How is he going to survive when shit hits the fan? How is he gonna get through? You got to be prepared, my friend. You got to be prepared. All right. Now, I try to figure out how to make this damn video bigger. I tried last week, and there's no way to do it because it's owned by Zuckerberg. Anything owned and controlled by Zuckerberg is shit. And okay.
These scientists are experimenting with a mutant COVID-19 strain that when used on humanized mice, it means that they change the immune systems to more closely approximate our own. They found it so far to be 100% lethal. And people in the scientific community are either like, Or as long as they keep it controlled, this is okay. Oh, it's not Wuhan, it's Beijing. So, it's fine. What is wrong with us? This is exactly what we suspect happened with COVID-19. Oh, but as long as it's controlled, yeah, it wasn't controlled. That's how the world got sick. Now, there are all these scary details about what happened to the mice. Look, I don't care about that. You can look up online and you can find what happened to the mice and how freaky it was. And it's the nonchalance. I haven't even heard anything from the U.S. government. I missed this story. That's how stupid I am, okay? I missed this story when it is the best indication of exactly how so many believe COVID-19 got out. That the Chinese or someone else were experimenting on COVID-19 and how to make it even worse, and then it got out. Former Assistant Secretary for Health, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Dr. Brett Giroir joins us now. I wish I could say he's still in there, so it would sound like somebody gave a damn about this, but I haven't even read anything from the U.S. government about their response to this reporting. What is your take on it, Doc?
Good to be with you again, Chris. I'm very concerned about this, both in what the content was of the study, but also what's between the lines. What they did is what we think they did exactly with COVID. They took a virus, this time out of a pangolin, that anteater kind, instead of a bat, and they let it mutate in the laboratory. Originally, that virus was not harmful to humanized mice. They let it mutate. They found a strain that mutated that was 100% lethal by killing all your brain cells. That's pretty frightening. Now, who is the author of this study? The Hospital of the People's Liberation Army of China, and a medical center that is predominantly funded by the Chinese military. And what makes me even more suspicious and concerned is that I don't know what laboratory conditions, but there's certainly no BSL-4 laboratory. So this had to be done in a much lower containment. And the final thing, which I think is, I hate to think of all the things that this could be, but they said, we know why it's lethal. There are 2 changes in that spike protein, but they never tell us what it is. So they're hiding that from the world community. So in case a disaster happened, we're still in the dark. And I think this should go to the President Biden. I really do. I think President Biden ought to demand that President Xi provide the genetic sequence of this virus so we know what it is and why it became so lethal, that our people can at least understand it in case something happens catastrophically. That's my opinion.
I can't believe
I'm not a
we're
crazy
having this
guy.
Conversation. I can't believe we're having this conversation, Brett. I'll be honest. I mean, you and I have talked so many times. I only remember about half of them because I was sick. For some of them, I had the brain fog. But, there's so many people who are suffering. Congress is going crazy about Fauci like he's Dr. Frankenstein, and they're quiet on this. It really shows you what people actually care about. I can't believe the Biden administration is quiet about this. I can't believe it. They're desperate to show that they're doing something good for someone in the country. Here's your opportunity. Here's your opportunity. Okay? This was a pandemic. They're doing the exact same thing now. Congress is going after Fauci. Go after this. Does it make any sense that this has gone so unexploded as a story?
Well, to me, it doesn't make sense. I learned about it on the Newswire this morning when News Nation contacted me. I pulled the articles, did all the research, and it's quite frightening. And I think it's the, if I did it report of exactly what they did with COVID. This is what we speculated. They did not purposely humanly engineer the virus, but they put it in the laboratory, let it mutate, then pick the worst strains.
Right.
So
look, all I know is this,
I think
Brett,
this is
when somebody won't let you investigate, okay? If somebody won't let you look, all right, they're worried about what you're going to find, okay? It's just basic human nature. I'm going to stay on this. We're going to make a bunch of phone calls to everybody who's supposed to be looking at this stuff for the U.S. taxpayers, and I appreciate you for leading the way. Brett Giroir, thank you very much. It's good to see you again.
Thank you, Chris.
Jeez. Unbelievable, huh? Oh, boy. Incredible. What did I say before? As soon as You think you overcame a crisis? Another one is waiting for all of us around the corner, a new one. All right. I got two more topics left. Rock and Paul is sick. Rock and Paul Mantia has a bad cold, a respiratory affliction. Believe it or not. Rock and Paul, I was talking to him. Yeah, but how was the audio? How was Chris Cuomo and the doctor's audio? I hope it was loud enough. I couldn't make it big. It's fucking Zuckerberg. It's from Instagram. You know, it wasn't from YouTube. You know, that's serious shit. You know, if they're hiding something, you know, I mean, they're allowing. Well, I don't want to say anything because I don't want YouTube to bust my balls. But you know what I mean? It definitely sounds suspicious. Anyway, let's move on to another subject. If Jordy would have saw that, you think the microplastics made him freak out? If you would have saw what I just played, he would have really uh, had a meltdown. Oh. Western Mike says, Judge put the block on JetBlue trying to buy Spirit Airlines. Families just saved money. I haven't heard the word Spirit Airlines in a long time. I guess they didn't do so good. JetBlue's doing great. I hope JetBlue gives more seating room than United Airlines. When I flew to San Diego for 5 hours, my knees were up against the seats in the front, and no matter how far back, I couldn't fix it. Everybody tried, but it was really that cramped. So they can make more profit. You know, you're uncomfortable, and they're profiting by it. And plus, the airline attendant told me, "Oh, we have Wi-Fi. Yeah, you could use your phone. You could hook up to it." And all that. Guess what? Their Wi-Fi didn't work on United Airlines, so they were inducted into the Chiselers Hall of Shame. I'd say several years ago. He's living in an area with too many undesirables, too much riffraff, too many people that live a very unsanitary life, and the migrants. You know, unfortunately, Paul is trying to be a superhero. He has everything except the spandex tight leotards and the cape. And you know, I don't know what he has. He says he'll be better in no time. That's what he says. You better be careful. JetBlue does a good job. It's the buying Spirit Airlines that wouldn't make sense. Well, JetBlue is doing a good job. JetBlue's been around for a long time. Why don't they just let bad airlines that are unsuccessful just simply go belly up? Why buy them? Why invest in failing or failed airlines? There's no point. Just let them go belly up. Let them decompose. You know, let the maggots get in there, and don't buy it. You're right. Western Miguel, which is Spanish for Michael. Western Miguel. Okay. After this, I have just one more. The two articles are about the same subject. They're about high technology and lasers. Lasers sure have come a long way, and they're not far off from what they used on Star Trek. Really, I mean, they're close, but they're not quite that powerful. But they're getting there. Oh, excuse me. That was dust. That was just an allergy sneeze. Yeah, it's already JetBlue. It's already JetBlue. They don't want to call they don't want to end up calling themselves Jet Blue Balls, wasting their money buying out uh, Mickey Mouse failed airlines. I don't believe in these polls. I don't believe in these polls. I don't believe it. They're lying. But you know what? Americans are really that brain dead, so it's a good chance that maybe they're not lying. Hey, James, Trader Joe's only cost me $70 today, minus some things that would have been even lesser than that. Yeah, I have my go-to items when I enter Trader Joe's. I think that's what you usually spend at Trader Joe's, around 70, which is actually good. Startup build a huge laser to shoot down space junk from the ground. Oh, from the ground? Oh, I didn't know that. Let me get rid of this advertisement. Fusion Cuisine, a Japanese startup called X Fusion, has announced a bold new plan to take out space junk, shooting the stuff down with laser beams. The experimental technology could be one of many potential methods to tackle the daunting task of cleaning up our planet's cluttered orbit. What about focusing on cleaning up our planet first before they worry about space junk? Unbelievable. What about all the junk that's floating in the Pacific Ocean? Wow, look at all these intrusive advertisements, folks. They're popping, coming in from the side, from the bottom. Rest assured, this approach doesn't involve blowing stuff up in space. Instead, the startup will use a type of beam known as a diode pumped solid-state laser to nudge debris out of orbit and into a safe area of the Earth's atmosphere where the debris will burn up upon re-entry. It's not the only company pursuing a laser-based approach, but unlike some of its competitors, X Fusion says its methods will be ground-based rather than relying on lasers mounted on satellites. The startup also has a curious potential edge, a background in exploring nuclear fusion, for which its lasers were originally designed. The power of a laser for destroying space junk is an order of magnitude lower than for nuclear fusion, but they share technical challenges such as controlling them via special mirrors. All right. All right. Well, it's not that long of an article, but let's see what they Little speed reading. Space you can move along two cars. Go to the cellar. Track space jump. All right, it's more space jump talk. You say, you part. Take the slide tire. NASA has already acknowledged broader technology potential. Blah 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 blah. Garbage man, whatever ends up being the best method, will likely end up being several used together. I'm just quickly going through the yada yadas. The NASA as well as European Space Agency have been clear that space junk is already a serious issue. Yeah, we're about the junk on Earth. Astronauts face the most immediate threat. The International Space Station has been forced to dodge debris. Oh, now we're talking about an issue. On numerous occasions in the future, the junk could crowd out new satellites from being stationed, block space travel, and uncontrollably fall to Earth. Aha, now we're talking. All right. For now, clean-up efforts are rocky and difficult. A ground-based approach could potentially be less messy than sending junk-hunting space probes to handle the task. That is, if the idea ever gets off the ground. Yeah, a lot of ideas need to get off the ground. You know what I mean, jelly beans? Okay, here's the last article. It is laser oriented. Okay, it's more aesthetically pleasing to the eyeball. Trader Joe's. Space, the final frontier, Western Mike. We insist you take our trash. Space, we insist you take our trash. You know, I was talking to someone that had an issue with a barking dog next door, but it wasn't a Chihuahua or a Yorkie. It was like a bull mastiff, because it had like a deep baritone bark, like a roof, 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 roof. But the problem is the owner ties it in the backyard and leaves it there all day, and the dog obviously wants to come inside. And the dog is nonstop. It's disturbing the neighborhood. And the person just happened to be the neighbor. How about that story? I thought about you. I thought about you. But this was a different dog. The dog probably doesn't want to be outside all day. Maybe the dog wants to come inside, be comfortable. The owner's an asshole. They're very inconsiderate. Unbelievable. I mean, honestly, you think a dog wants to be chained out in the backyard all fucking day? Some dogs just, they want to go out in the backyard and do their thing, and they want to come back in and into a nice clean house and relax. So that's probably what it is. The owners are ignoring the dog, and the people are being tormented. Okay, let's see what we got here. Space, the final frontier, Western Mike. That neighbor should not own that house or that dog. Fuck him. Yeah, there should be complaints at City Hall. This is somebody who lives in southern Louisiana. So the owner, the dog is part of the issue, but the real issue, Western Miguel, is the owner. It's not the animal's fault. It's the owner. We're talking about selfish, asshole, scumbag humanoids. Humanoids. Britain says it developed and test-fired a futuristic laser cannon that can shoot drones out of the sky. Lovely. You gotta love science. Gotta love technology. Can't stop it. No way, no how. I knew that the laser will eventually replace bullets and missiles. Well, no, not missiles. No, bullets. I'm sorry. Or short-range rockets. Britain says it developed and test fired a future. They already said that. Why are they being redundant? UK's it's called Dragonfire laser weapon being tested in an undated handout. Looks pretty. You wouldn't want to be in its path though. The UK has tested a new laser weapon for shooting down drones. The Ministry of Defense says the weapon uses a high-power beam that travels at the speed of light. No kidding. It's a laser. It could help defend ships and armored vehicles against drone swarms. And drones are very popular now. Britain has tested a powerful new laser. Again, they're saying the same thing. You know, Western Mike, I don't like redundancy. See, look, Britain has tested a powerful new... They're making me repeat myself. The Dragonfire laser weapon fired at several aerial targets for the first time at a range in the Hebrides in Scotland. No, I could have asked Jordy where the Hebrides or the Hebrides are. Press release said. The Times reported that politicians in the UK were now hoping to speed up its deployment following growing attacks by Houthi rebels against ships in the Red Sea. Okay, I'm going through the yada yada, you know, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. It's able to hit a coin at a distance of a kilometer, which is 0.6 miles. Really? Can hit a coin, huh? And I think it would be more accurate than even that. The laser-directed energy weapon system was used in the tests to engage aerial targets several miles away, the Times reported, and could be used to protect naval vessels in around 5 years. Yeah, I knew, you know, the technology wasn't quite there yet, just like with robotics. But it's advancing very rapidly. Maybe even faster than 5 years, I think. All right, that's enough. Now I will send out the link to my co-host. Back at the ranch. Oh, bear with me. I'm doing this by phone. Sometimes you got to go to the phone. Sometimes the desktop can do what the phone can't do. Sometimes the phone can do what the desktop can do. Can't do. It can, it can't, it can, it can. There we go. Let's see. What the hell? Where's this jabroni? Where is this jumbaloni? Where is this jabroni? Okay, getting back to Western Miguel. Western Mike says, Drones have been shown to be capable of breaching airspace. That's true. Well, Kim Jong-un has been firing missiles over entering Japanese airspace, and the people are getting very nervous about that. He has no right to do that. I would have shot them down. North Korea's Kim Jong-un. Just chat tonight. Just chat tonight. The shit Wawa is back and is yapping at passerby like the mailman. The phone should not do any computer things. No, because the phone really doesn't have the capability. It's good for communication. It's good for surfing the internet, checking your email, uh, texting, social media communications. That's all. That's all. The shit wawa. Yeah, like I was saying before, Ronnie, if Jordy was around, who's this? Oh, look at this. Fraud. Potential fraud is calling me. Gotta love today's, look at this. Block and report number. What good is it? I get more calls. Fraud. It's like, just, oh, Lord. All right, I sent out the link. And I could. I'll do it anyway. He freaked out about the microplastics. Could you imagine if he heard the other one with Chris Cuomo? He would have had a meltdown. I get everything: spam, scam, this, that, blah, blah. I get them all. I don't even give them the time of day. You know how many times I get these so-called wrong phone numbers texting me, calling me by another name? And I know it's going to happen. They'll say, oh, I'm sorry I called you. I'm sorry I'm bothering you. Then they try to be your friend. And then eventually comes the catch, Jordy, let's see. I'm trying to find him. Where the hell is he? Hey, where are you, man? Here he is. Just found him. Let's see. Maybe I'll send one to this guy. This other jabroni jumbaloni. I'm not sending it to him anymore. All right, that should do it. So just a matter of time. I put the high quality fishing lure at the end of my line. I baited the fishing lure. And let's see who takes the bait. Hang it in there. I'm doing my live stream show. Hang it in there. That's my sister. Anyway, Mr. Ronnie, I sent you the link. All right. Good enough. Okay, everybody. What do you feel like talking about, huh? Any topic that anyone wants to bring up. Whatever's important to anyone listening, anyone from Twitter, YouTube, people I know, people I don't know. Spam, everything, Mike. I get it all. I get it all. Governor Chris Christie was a very well-rounded candidate. Hold on, that deserves the levity bell. Yeah, the levity bell. He was a very well-rounded candidate. That was cute. People are cray and hunkering down. Cray? What does that mean? They're crayfish? Why? Is there a storm going on there in San Francisco? You're hunkering down? Oh, I don't like crowds. I have a bit of claustrophobia. I don't. Plus, I don't like. I never cared much for the general public. I find them to be very annoying. Any topic you could talk about relationships and marriage and dating. You could talk about science. You could talk about politics. Politics, that's politics. Yeah. Yep. No, it's changed. Going out and about a Friday night or a Saturday night has definitely changed, and not for the better. It used to be a lot of fun. Not anymore. Not anymore. I remember back in the day when we had a lot of fun. You know, sometimes we used to come home at sunrise, and you know, in those days, you know, the people were more sociable. They were much friendlier. They were much friendlier. It was easier. Somebody's telling me it's freezing out. Yes, I know all about it, and I'll tell you exactly what it is right now. Right now, it is 19 degrees Fahrenheit in the northeastern New Jersey and New York area, New York City area. Now, upstate New York, they probably have a lot of snow with colder temperatures. Did you get the link, Mr. Ronnie S? Oh yeah, I enjoyed the disco dancing. I'm a pretty good dancer. I was trained by my late Uncle Frank, who was a ballroom dancing teacher. He worked for Gene Kelly's brother, Fred Kelly. Yeah, and he also taught my mom. Yeah, no. And that in those days, men and women would actually slow dance to when the DJ played slow songs at the end of the night. In those days they slow danced, male and female, and people were grinding, you know. No, I never wore that fucking. You mean like Frank Costanza on Seinfeld with the leisure suit? No. No. I never wore that polyester crap. No, Sigma men. Sigma men do not stomp around and seek approval. Sigma men are smart enough to know that happiness comes from within. Never look for happiness from an external source. No one can make you happy. You cannot make them happy. So these women that are constantly, like, let's say, constantly complaining and nagging and expecting the man to be like a genie in a bottle, in a lamp, rather, Santa Claus, the genie in the lamp, their daddy when they were young, and just rescue them from all their problems and satisfy all of their needs and give them everything they ever wanted. Like the boyfriend or the husband was a genie. You know, this is a fantasy world. Nobody is responsible for anyone else's happiness. Now, happiness is a different story. Happiness. Happiness. Got it? Sigma. A sigma is a very self-confident, secure person that just doesn't, that has their own life. They cultivate their own life. They have a life. They don't seek approval, and they're perfectly fine being unattached. They could be perfectly fine living alone. They're not needy or desperate. They don't need to be around crowds of people. They don't need a large volume of friends. You know, whoever wants to be their friend, whoever wants to come into their world, into their space, if they're respectful, they're welcome. But they don't like desperately go out and seek happiness and approval from others. Now, the alpha male is more in your face, loud, obnoxious, always bragging, very braggadocious. You know, they're really hung up on gender roles. They can be also independent too, but they could be very arrogant. You know, Sigma men are not concerned about bragging or being in the spotlight. If they're naturally in the spotlight because they happen to have qualities and talents, that's great. But they don't physically seek the spotlight. The spotlight is not necessary for their happiness. You know, like a lot of entertainers are insecure because they have to be in the spotlight all the time. Okay, Western Mike says, feminists bully by complaining a lot. Well, yeah, they instead of going on and just simply living their life and keeping their sexual orientation private and not getting in your face about it, everything is fine, you know. Just keep your life private. Don't be a bully. Don't like be preoccupied with power. Well, that's a tough question. I'm not real. I don't really care about. I did send a link to Mr. Clean, and I sent it to Rock and Paul, and I sent it to Drinking Jordy. Um, I'm not really hung up on, you know, narrow-minded, old-fashioned gender roles. I know alpha men are. Alpha men are. Bullies can't embrace solitude and are therefore untrustworthy. Yeah, a Sigma male can live uh, peacefully and content in solitude. They're content with contentment, which is different than, let's say, like a pushy type A personality who's always has to set goals for themselves. Oh, I have to be successful. I must set a goal. I must have a goal. And when I reach one goal, I must have another goal. Uh, you know, I must make my first million. I must be rich. I must be this. You know, the Sigma male can be content with contentment. If they have the basics of life and they have peace of mind, which is extremely important, and they have their health and they have shelter and they have clothes and they're living in a clean environment and a safe environment, they can be very happy. Well, a bully is a very obnoxious uh, uh, individual. The the alpha bully can be very ostentatious, you know, a show off. I don't brag. I don't tell people how much I paid for things. You know, like there are a lot of rich people. They'll go around telling you what they paid for their Ferrari or Lamborghini. You know, I don't give a shit. I knew a guy. He was short. You know, he was a young guy. His father worked for the FBI, and this guy, he had like two or three brand new Corvettes in the garage, all covered up, different colors. He used to tell everybody, every girl he knew, he used to constantly tell everyone about his Corvettes, not realizing that people don't give a shit about your Corvettes. Good for you. Okay. It looks like the viewership is picking up. I sent the links out. No, so far, nobody's jumping aboard the pirate ship. Nobody. Um, and yeah, well, don't forget, obese people can also be very loud and obnoxious, and they also could have a body odor because I don't think they shower as often as regular folks. Um, all right, any particular subject? Anybody's welcome to bring up any subject, ask any question. Um, I might have to. I might have to cut the show. What do we got here? We're getting close to an hour and a half. If 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 there's no co-host, if no one's coming on, I'm gonna cut the show extra early and depart. What's your opinion on Ron versus Nikki? Nikki Haley? Ron DeSantis? I don't pay attention to any of the Republicans. Yeah, you know what? That's a pretty smart thing to say, Michael. Phonies, people that have a phony, saccharine sweet smile and pretend to like others. They pretend to be your friend. Um, remember that there's a song, an old song. I don't know if it was a Motown song or what, but it was called the Backstabbers. You know, they smile in your face, and all the time they want to take your place. The Backstabbers. Yeah, yeah. Well, let me check. Let me check and see if anybody has any intentions of coming on. Uh, you're not going to make it? Ronnie S. says he's not going to make it. Well, if it's too cold outside, I mean, why? Is, is someone there that would complain and yell if you use the desktop? Because that's another talk show. You know, I mean, if you ask me about alpha men, I'm alpha about that. About women, about, well, it doesn't have to be a woman, about significant others uh, telling their partners what to do, what kind of hobbies to have, what kind of friends they have. Uh, um, don't like it. I don't care. I don't care if if Cupid himself is shooting little baby arrows at the couple, or if they share the same bed. No one has a right to take away what makes you a person, like Western Mike. No one has the right to take away what makes Western Mike Western Mike. His hobbies, his interests, his passions. He has a right to those. So just because Western Mike, let's say he meets some, I don't know, 22-year-old who's really very cute, and she has a nice shape. Her figure is really nice, and Western Mike, his hormones start flowing like a volcanic lava. I don't care. I don't care about a potential sex life, but I do care if the person respects you and allows you to be who you are. Who you are. I try to make it. I try to simplify it as much as I can. Well, happy hour is not good for you because you're trying to maintain your sobriety. Seems more dudes than women are Karens today. Oh, I I found a really good. I found a really entertaining Karen video on Twitter. She was very good looking. She was ranting and raving. She's in Southern California, Huntington Beach, California, and she's ranting and raving and yelling because a restaurant was flying, along with the American flag, was flying the gay flag, the rainbow flag. And she was going on and on. We have to make America great again. The Huntington Beach used to be made up of hard-working Americans, and now we have these people here. What? 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 That's meaningless. That's meaningless. It's like, what does that have to do with a person's sexual orientation? There he is. Mr. Jordy, is your microphone working? I didn't hear any sound. How are you feeling? Yeah, but she was an attractive Karen. You would do her. What makes Western Mike Western Mike? Western Mike can't afford women these days. That's true. Oh, what happened? I didn't hear a word from Jordy. He came on and then he departed. Yeah, I could do that. You know what I got in trouble with last week? Showing the South Park clips. I got the copyright warning in my email. Can't do that anymore. But this I could show. You know what? Let me try to yeah. And and Ronnie S, you told me privately, yeah, I'm free tonight. I'll be there. That's what you told me. All right. Bear with me. I'm going to try to find that video. Now, Mr. Clean, he's not coming on, probably because his girlfriend is putting a stop to it. She's got a mouthpiece on it. I can't be pussy whipped. I'm sorry. I can't. I have to have my own life. You know what I mean? Oh no, what am I doing? I'm looking in the wrong place. The pussification of the American male. It's a very sad situation. Pussification. No, I could send him the link. Your microphone. Is your microphone muted? Your mic. I don't hear you. Check your mic. Check your mic volume. Don't worry, folks. I have it right here. Maranja. Oh, there I am. I'm looking at my stream on Twitter. Apparently, Melania Trump's mother passed away, and she did not want Donald Trump riding in the same limousine with her. Oh God. Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. Let me see. How am I gonna? All right. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. Ms. Zuckerberg, I'm telling you. We're getting there. I mean, the thing is, he sends me links when he goes off the air. Yeah, I got a link. Who are you? Wesley Curry? The second? I don't know Wesley Curry. I know I use curry a lot in my food. Let me just see if it's here. Hold on. Oh, shit. All right, let me see if this is it. Hey, Jordy, did you check your microphone? Maybe your microphone was muted, or maybe the volume was real low. I didn't hear you at all. Nothing. You couldn't hear me either? Sounds like you need to reboot. As Jordy telling me. You couldn't hear us either. No. Yep. Here we go. Are you ready, folks? Are you ready to see the Karen? Are you ready to see the Karen? Well, you're going to see the Karen. Yes, he is very dapper. What? Fame toy? No, 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 no. This is free and open exchange of ideas and opinions. If you want to bring up I mean, I don't know you to give you the link, but if you want to type commentary about anything, I'll click on it and I'll put it across the screen. But we're going to look at this. Okay. Let me see.
To San Diego, and guess what I came home to be greeted with?
Wait a minute. I'm trying to. Okay. What's wrong with this damn thing? Full screen. You ready?
To San Diego, and guess what I came home to be greeted with? This fucking bullshit. What the hell is that? Huntington Beach is the town of good old-fashioned, hardworking American people. The people that worked all through the COVID lockdowns. Yes, that's right. Huntington Beach never shut down through any of the COVID nonsense fuckery. And now we're peddling this garbage? What the hell is this? The only flag in the desert is that American flag. It's a disgrace to our city, and it should be taken down immediately. Whoever the hell is running this town needs to be fired. Make America great again. Make Huntington Beach to San Diego. And guess what I came home to be greeted with? This fucking bullshit. What the hell is that? Huntington Beach is the town of good old-fashioned, hardworking American people. The people that worked all through the COVID lockdowns. Yes, that's right. Huntington Beach never shut down through any of the COVID nonsense fuckery. And now we're peddling this garbage? What the hell is this? The only flag in the desert is that American flag. It's a disgrace to our city, and it should be taken down immediately. Whoever the hell is running this town needs to be fired. Make America great again. Make Huntington Beach.
Make America great again. Make Huntington Beach great again. Now, this Wesley Curry II says goodbye when I mentioned the show is a free and open exchange of ideas and opinions, where people have a right to be heard. And he said goodbye right away. Now, first he says, not interested, goodbye. So what is his... I'm looking at his photo image. It doesn't look like a normal photo of somebody who has something positive to offer. You know, it sounds like somebody who just wants to be a fucking troll. You're not gonna troll my show. I don't know you. Until I get to know you, through seeing your contribution to the show, to see if you're an honest, normal person. Otherwise, I don't know you. You know, I'm not gonna just willy-nilly, you know, just give out the link to people that are gonna try to get under my skin and bust my fucking balls. Bust somebody else's fucking balls. Somebody else's show. Yes, Samoa Joe is from Huntington Beach. Make Huntington Beach great again. No, I don't. I pretty much told him what the show is about, you know, and I don't know him, and I'm not just gonna like give out the link to strangers. You know, I was talking. I had a chat with Ronald Theriot, and he says you could tell when a person is a troll. Now, what's wrong with the free and open exchange of ideas and opinions? You know, what's wrong with that? Is that a reason for a person to say, not interested, goodbye, everybody knows me? Everybody knows them? No, that's it. I'm being selective. No. I think Western Mike did a show today. He went live earlier. Oh, I believe he did. Oh, I should. He's insulted. He's insulted because I says the show. I gave him an honest evaluation of what the show's about. I should just give the link to somebody I don't know who doesn't like the idea of free and open exchange of ideas and opinions, doesn't like what I said. So he's insulted by that. He was demanding the link. It's just the way he was saying it. It was like he was demanding the link. Hey, I could be insulted also, you know. People tell me they want to be on the show, they don't come on the show. Okay, I could be insulted, but I don't care. Huntington Beach should be inducted into the Chiseler's Hall of Shame. All right, you know what? Now it's getting silly. He being all, we need to talk. He be in awe. I don't know what the fuck his purpose is, Mike. I really don't. I mean, I said, you know, if you have a topic or a question, type it, and I'll click on it. I'll click on it so it goes across the screen, and then that's how you get acquainted with a viewer, with a new viewer. You get acquainted with the new viewer, and if you see that the new viewer is a normal, positive, smart person, and they have something positive to bring to the show, then down the road, then you give them the link. But I'm not going to like give a link to somebody who demands the link and I don't know who they are. Yeah, Sigma males are not like bossy and demanding like that. Okay, let's see what's going on here, because I think I've had enough. All right, Jordy is having issues. Um, hey, hey, Jordy, I saw you. I saw you very clearly on video, but you didn't hear me and I didn't hear you. So there's something going on with the audio. Not my audio. You have to check the audio on whatever device you're using. If you're using your desktop, you have to check the audio and make sure it's on and that it's not blocked. Or you could do it right on Restream. You'll see a little like an asterisk, like a gear icon on the bottom right. Click on that and then check the audio there and video. That's the best I can do. I'm not talking to myself. I'm sending Jordy a voicemail, voice message. So, you know, but I'm not going to hang on too much longer. How could it be a better show if, I mean, everybody says, actually, the part where I went over the topics, I was pretty satisfied with that. And the communication with you guys, and when Bart Robinson was here, you know, and all that, and Daryl Messias, I thought the show went well. And then, you know, anybody could say, well, the show went well, but next week will be better. People say that anyway. Well, next week will be better. I mean, next week, Vic Von Raven might say, well, there's another playoff game. Can't come on. Or, you know, you might say, yeah, next week is cool. Then next week will come and you'll say, can't make it, I just want to type. Yeah, it was good. You know, I just don't like, I only like going solo the first hour when just to get through the serious topics. So I get through the serious topics. I address commentary, put them up on the screen like I'm doing now, but only for like the first hour or hour and 15 minutes. After that, I like to have a panel. You know, if the fucking alcoholics can have a panel when they go live, I mean, a show that's supposed to really mean something should be able to have a panel too. if a bunch of drunks can have a panel, I don't see why this show can't have a panel. But, you know, these are the same people that say, oh, that Trump, he's doing great in the polls. Oh, that Ron DeSantis, oh, we got to make America great again. We got to make Huntington Beach great again. Oh, hardworking Americans. Oh, so I guess making America great again includes being a bigot and a racist and hateful. You know. And then you have the issue when there's a big election day in the United States. You have the issue of many people not even bothering to vote, but they complain. They go on social media and complain, but they don't vote. Then they don't have any right to complain. If you don't vote, then you have no right to publicly complain. Now you're busting my balls. Send a link to BC. Yeah. Yeah, you know what's going to happen when I send it to BC? Nothing. And if BC comes on, what am I going to get from him? A raspy voice that I can't understand? I don't even know. I don't even know what physical condition he's in these days. I have no idea. Anyway, we have more listeners than before. The listeners are going up. If there's anyone who is serious about bringing up a topic, discussing anything, or asking questions of anything that's important to you, I mean, anyone out there in cyberspace, from Twitter, from YouTube, whatever, feel free, and we'll get some new blood on the show. And when and if you're ready, and you have positive things to offer the show, we'll bring you on video. I mean, there are people who are very shy when it comes to the webcam because they have the perfect face for radio. I mean, there are people like that, which is all right. You just create an avatar, you upload an avatar. You don't have to use your camera. You bring up the avatar and you talk audio. Strictly audio. That's all. No problem. I mean, if you look like Herman Munster or Grandpa from the Munsters, you know, no problem. Just use the audio. I'm rocking with Trump. Rock the jock. Now, if you want, you can talk. We can do a little man pill. We can do some red pill man cave talk. You know, speaking of football games, you know why women complain that their husbands or boyfriends are glued to the TV? Because they're not kissing their ass. They're not giving them the undivided, constant attention that they so desperately need. Oh yeah, he dances like that. Remember when he was dancing to Macho Man? Macho Man, YMCA, we'll go to the one. Yeah, yeah, that's how he dances. Yeah, attention is for weak-minded people, people that crave attention, that need attention, and also organized religion is for weak-minded people too. Jesse Ventura said that. You know that the coach George Bruno, he's a coach for men on the internet. He was talking about church people, and he said the same thing I always said. Church people, people that are always in church, have many more hang-ups than people that don't frequent church, that people that are outside of the church, that don't go to church. They have many more hang-ups. And then I realized, for those that are Bible scholars, you know, the disciples, Jesus' disciples were big-time screw-ups. Big-time screw-ups. And that matches the people in the church. You know, so if somebody tells you, oh, you know, you want to meet a nice girl, start going to church and you'll find a nice girl. Yeah, my ass. They're worse. They're worse than any women outside of the church. They really are. YMCA. You know, he should change the disco songs. He should change the disco songs. Actually, a person who is on trial, so to speak, and has 92 felony charges against him, I don't know how he has to be insane to campaign knowing that they're ready to throw the book at him. You know, and he did go to Jeffrey Epstein's perverted resort, because I saw photos of him and Epstein together, and they had a underage girl sitting on his lap. You know, the proof is in the pudding, my friend. The proof is always in the pudding. They wear veils. You mean like a wedding dress? No, there's no veils. They keep to themselves. Nobody talks to anybody really. They act like they have a bat phone to God, you know, during the mass, you know, they're always acting like they're, you know, like the, you know, like they get dramatic in prayer. There's no need to get dramatic in prayer. There's no necessity unless you're showing off. Insane to campaign, insane to the membrane, insane to the brain. Remember that song? Nah, that was from the 80s. You're too young. Insane to the membrane, insane to the... Oh, I got a message. Let's see. Who's sending me a message here? No, Jordy didn't listen to the message yet. You know what? He looked like he was drinking tonight. Everybody's missing in action. Maybe Mick Von Raven was right. Maybe the fucking playoffs, you know. I'm supposed to do a show tomorrow, the Holistic Health Talk, but at least I, you know, I got a good co-host, Commodore Jeff Zambello, that shows up like clockwork. I mean, I start at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. He comes on with me at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and he stays with me for an hour. and then I do some health, nutrition related videos, like sometimes like two or three of them. And that's it. I'm done. So it's really a lot of fun. It's very easy for me to do holistic health talk based on the Facebook group that I have, or Original Holistic Health Talk. It's much more easier. It's much easier and fun and comical, and it's not frustrating. It's not frustrating like progressive discussions. Progressive discussions, I don't mind the first hour when I go through the topics because I have the topics lined up. I get it over with. I don't mind that. It's the part where I get to the open topic talk. Anything goes. The panelists, or if there's a lack of panelists, the only good thing that could happen is people will communicate by typing. Yeah, but no, Mick won't come on because he'll say it's too late. He's exhausted. Yeah, I watch it. What's going on with the Green Bay 49er game? Does anybody know? Yeah, I know, but I like to. I was in a mood to talk, to communicate with at least 1 to 2 people besides myself. I know it's there are people who all they do is text. I know people like in Facebook. There's a guy who's extremely popular. He's got a huge following, and I've invited him on the show, and he's very knowledgeable. He doesn't come on the show. He blows me off. But he has a ton of people that all they do he doesn't have a group. He doesn't have a page. He's a member of my page, but he doesn't contribute to the page, or he doesn't bring any of his followers over to the page. Every fucking thing he does is on his profile. It's like he's living in his own world, like a bubble. Everything is about his Facebook profile, and that's all they do is talk privately on his profile. Talk about boring and being limited. Very boring. No, I think Green Bay was playing tonight, weren't they? I don't know. Somebody played at 4 or 4:30 p.m. and then there was a game that started at 8 p.m. today, because last week they had to determine the wild card. Green Bay is ahead 13-7. Oh, they're in the third quarter. So I'll catch the tail end of the game. They're still in the third quarter. They're playing in San Francisco, and I know Daryl. They surprisingly blew away Dallas Cowboys. I mean, that people did not expect that. That game I watched. The game with Dallas. Gabriel just talks to me privately. Gabriel Salaya, he doesn't come on. He just talks privately. Oh, excuse me. that's limited also. That's limiting yourself when you only talk to a very tight, exclusive clique. That's the word I was looking for. You're not, if you have a great conversation and you're sharing important things, it would be nice if a lot of people would be able to hear it and learn from it. The asses of the masses. That's right. Cowboys got smoked here. James, people are a hit or miss investment with more of an emphasis on miss. You mean like the missing link? Yeah, human behavior. I don't care how much money they make. I could never be a shrink. I'll probably end up putting the pillow over their faces, smothering them. Nah, I've had it. I've had it. I'm ready to close up shop. Everything is temporary, so home is my station. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Yes, everything is temporary because time keeps on slipping into the future. Just like the old song. Ah, that's what you wanted to see. The Dominican World Series. The Dominican World Series? You at the time you were gonna come on and be part of my panel. Then you noticed that the Dominican World Series was playing. Uh-oh. San Francisco just scored a touchdown. They're ahead 14-13. Well, they're two great teams. I mean, no one was going to get smoked in this game. Tampa's tomorrow, right? Okay. No one was going to get smoked. Well, Western Mike, I hope everything's going well with your juicing. And maybe I'll catch you tomorrow in cyberspace. Have a good night. Well, you can't do that constantly. At least you can't in Florida. Wouldn't it be great if you can just walk around and go to the store with a corncob pipe of marijuana sticking out of your mouth? Wouldn't that be great if the evangelical religious fanatic nuts, the cultists, didn't have control of Florida, making marijuana illegal where it shouldn't be? No, should not be. I mean, you guys, getting back to that dude, that's a red flag. Normally people come on the show and they'll bring up a topic, they'll type a topic out or a question, and then there'll be a back and forth banter going on with typing. You get to know the person, and then if they're a regular and you enjoy communicating with them, then you send them the link. But to come on the show and nobody knows you and demand the link, and besides, anybody who ends their name in the second or the third, that seems arrogant. That seems arrogant, pretentious, elitist. Let me see what he says. The evangelicals are on the move. Yeah, it's a cult. That's what it is. Like the Scientology headquarters in your area. Anyway, yeah, Curry, Curry the second. Everyone knows him. Everyone knows him. He refuses to bring up any topic. His first time on the show, he refuses to bring up any topic or question for discussion. All he does is he demands the link, and then when I tell him, well, I don't know you, is there something you want to bring up? The subject is, oh, I'm not interested. Goodbye. And at first he says everybody knows him. Everybody knows me. No. Red flag. You got to be able to spot red flags with everybody. Curry in a hurry. Curry in a hurry. I don't have his picture. I mean, you mean like backtrack? Yeah, hold on. I'll look for the part where he says goodbye. Wesley Snipes? No, Wesley Curry. Look at that crazy image. Who is that? I can't make it out. Is that Bernie Sanders? Who is that? It's like a cartoonish image. That might be Bernie Sanders. Wesley Curry the second. Doesn't even sound like a real name. Wesley Snipes Curry the second. It's an avatar. How do you make it bigger? Well, how do you make it bigger? I don't know how to make it bigger. All right, you know what? I'm done. I'm ready to close up the shop. I'll watch the end of this game. All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Fame toy. Boy toy? Is that like a boy toy? Fame toy. In other words, I'm trying to get famous. No, I want to know who the hell you are. You don't just come on and just demand the link. The first thing out of his mouth. Fame toy. All right, that's it. I've had enough of this. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you stopping by. Everyone collectively. I'm not your fame toy. Yeah, so what is it? What kind of toy is he? A dildo? Goodbye. Good night, everybody.